As the year comes to a close, I want to share how I am reflecting on 2024 and what I'm doing to actually set intentions, set goals, and actually plan for 2025. Hello and welcome to Full Body Yes Sales, the podcast where we show you how to make more sales than ever in your online business in a way that feels authentic, empowering, and feels completely aligned with how you want to do business. Let's dive into today's episode. Hello and welcome back to the channel, and happy Christmas week as well if you are celebrating. This week, I wanted to do a slightly lighter video, slightly more fun, exciting, just a nice little chat, and I want to talk about specifically looking back over 2024 and actually reflecting and celebrating your wins, because we don't do that enough. Firstly, looking at what lessons we've learned and what we're doing, planning to go into 2025. What are our intentions? What are our goals? And I wanted to walk you through how I'm going about that process and kind of do that live with you. So this is very much going to be a lighter one of just reflecting on the last year, just thinking through what we've achieved, what we've done, and what we're doing going into 2025. So the very first thing we want to be doing, of course, is looking back and celebrating the wins. I think it's so easy for us to just be going through the motions because we just have a lot going on day to day as business owners. But actually, this is the perfect time of year to actually take a look back and just celebrate some of the wins that maybe you didn't celebrate, and just look at what you have achieved over the last 12 months, no matter how big or small it is. So I would challenge you firstly to actually think of, 10, let's say, wins that you've had over the last year. And the reason why I say 10 is I think it's really easy to think of a few that come to your mind straight away. A few that will come to mind for me is I hit 102 lifetime clients this year, which just feels crazy that I've worked with that many people in the last few years. I hit 100k net worth as well, which was super exciting. I traveled to a lot of places as well, kind of as normal at this point, but it's still super exciting. And yeah, I think those are the things which come to mind straight away, of course, because they're just the bigger things, but we don't notice the really small things, such as, wow, I signed that client that felt really big. I worked with this person re-signed, and that was super exciting because I've now worked with them for over a year. All these things that we don't really think of, which are kind of the smaller things sometimes, or smaller, quote unquote. And I think it's so nice to actually take a second to actually acknowledge those and force yourself to kind of write out 10 things, because then you have to start thinking about some of those smaller things as well. And as much as this might just sound like a cutesy little fluffy kind of activity to do, I think especially as very ambitious type A entrepreneurs, which I definitely am, I think it can sound like it's a little bit of a fluffy thing to do, but I think it's so important because, how we feel, our mindsets are so related to how we're showing up in our business, which is so related to the results we're getting. So we can't go into a new year and start 2025 feeling super motivated and then just burn out really, really quickly, unless we're actually taking time to actually, celebrate our wins, celebrate how far we've actually come this year, celebrate everything that you've done. I think that just builds natural momentum. And the more you're just focusing on that aspect, and it's, the phrase, what is the phrase exactly? Something along the, what is the phrase? Something around like the wolf you feed is the wolf that's like the biggest, essentially, which is basically like if you feed the good, like the good looks bigger, of course, and you're going to notice the good more. So actually you leaning into celebrating those wins and actually taking time for those, just on a very factual perspective, is going to give you that momentum going into the new year, more so than just the fact of it being January 1st, because that's not going to last. 5 days after that, you're going to go, oh, okay, it's no longer January 1st. I don't feel super pumped up anymore. So actually leaning into some of those wins and actually just paying attention to those and just giving them a moment, giving them a little bit of stage time is so, so powerful for you to actually just create a little bit extra momentum going into the new year as well. Now, the second thing which I'm doing after celebrating the wins is actually reflecting on the lessons learned, especially in business this year. And I think this is so, so important. And I think so many of us just go into 2025 and we're ready to just plaster on this new strategy and say, oh, everything's going to be amazing. But we don't actually take any time to just learn anything from 2024. And actually, sure, you might have heard this other person talking about this strategy that's working really well for them and is going really well, and you should try that too. But actually, the best possible way for you to find the strategy that's going to work for you in 2025, find where you need to focus, is by looking to the past, looking what's happened in your business specifically. If you can look back over 2024 and see, wow, that's really amazing that 80% of my clients came from this one specific place. maybe we should do something with that. Maybe we should spend a little bit more time on that certain area or that certain strategy. That is really the way that you're going to see where you should be focusing in 2025. That is your North Star, that's your guidepost. So actually taking time to look back on some of those lessons on what you can see is just working really, really well for you is actually really strategic for leaning more into getting bigger results, because it's literally proven for you and your business to work well. So reflecting on it from that perspective of what has been working well and also what hasn't as well, because there's some things for every single person where we've been putting a lot of time and energy maybe into a certain area and it just hasn't paid off in the way we wanted it to. We haven't got the results from that yet. And then you get to decide, okay, what do I want to do with that? Do I want to spend less time here? Do I want to cut that from my business? Is that not something I'm going to be offering anymore or going to be focusing on? You get to make decisions with that, but you can't make the decisions unless we've actually taken just a minute to just look back and think, okay, what has worked really well and what hasn't worked really well. For example, with myself, I can see that one thing this year that has worked really, really well has been I've had a couple clients come from Facebook groups, which is really funny because I barely spend any time in Facebook groups. Like, I kid you not, it's maybe, if we were to average it out across the week, maybe 5 minutes a week. It's really nothing, honestly. I'll just occasionally pop in, just if I see something pop up on my feed that's, you know, a question someone's asking and I instantly have an answer that I can share and just be helpful. If someone's asking for a recommendation for a business coach and I get tagged, those types of things. So I know for me, actually, the fact that I've barely spent any time there and I've still been getting clients from there means I probably should be spending a little bit more time and energy there. So that's absolutely what I'm taking forward going into 2025. Now, this is such an important process, and I think most people just skip over this, but honestly, this is the thing which makes growth really, really simple. And it's not you just throwing spaghetti at the wall and just guessing what strategy is going to work based on what you've seen working well for someone else, just from an external perspective, or what a mentor has told you you should be doing. It's literally looking at your business of what is and isn't working and doubling down on what is working, doing less of what isn't working, essentially. And then we can try the new things. Then we can fit them around what we already know is working as well. Now, if you're sitting here and thinking, okay, but I don't really know how to utilize this. What do I need to do more of? Where should I actually be spending my time? I can kind of make a guess from this, but I'm not really sure. And you want to actually go into 2025 feeling really, really confident with where you're spending your time, what strategies you're using, where you're actually focusing to make it easy for you to double your income in 2025, then I have 2 one-to-one intensive spaces open at the moment. I will put the link in the description to sign up. These will be at the start of the new year, so sometime in January. You can lock in your space right now by just filling in the details below. And we will use this to essentially map out your 2025, to give you your roadmap and your blueprint to making sure that you are easily doubling your income in 2025 and giving you the really clear and simple strategies to actually get there. So you know where you need to be spending your time, where you need to be spending your energy, and you just have a really clear map essentially to follow throughout the year. So we will have 2 calls together, 2 one-to-one calls separated by a week of messenger support you can actually start implementing while you've got me as your business coach in your back pocket as well. And you'll get my Freedom Business Playbook as well, where we will be mapping out your business, and this will be your roadmap. This will be your guide throughout the whole year. So you are good. You know exactly where you need to focus to make this your biggest and best year yet. So as I said, there's only 2 spaces open for this. If they are filled already, the link will have disappeared in the description. So go check out the link in the description if you're interested. And then the third thing you want to be doing to really plan and reflect is actually looking towards 2025 and, okay, what is our vision? What is our intention? What is our goal for the new year, essentially? And this can very much come in the form of a vision board. I have one on my wall that I created. I need to update this, actually. I created this like 5 years ago now, I think. So that is absolutely crazy. And it's more of a general vibe versus goals or anything like that. So it's cute. It's very seaside and beachy, but I will update it at some point. But every single year I will do a phone screensaver, and I will put that together in Canva of just the goals I have for the year. So what I'm specifically focusing on, I will put that here so you can see what mine looks like for next year, because I've already planned that out. So a few of my goals you can see that I have for next year. You can see that I want to hit 200K net worth. So I'm aiming to double that again. So we'll see if that happens, but I think we should be getting somewhere around there for sure. I'm very much a conservative planner in terms of something that feels realistic. In terms of the revenue revenue, 80K we have up there in pounds. And then we have some other goals which are really focused around focusing in my business and just feeling really focused. So a lot of the work ones are just around, I want to feel really focused in my business. I want to feel like, yeah, I'm just able to really focus in on what I'm wanting to move the needle towards, because I know what I need to be doing. So just focusing in there. And then also a sense of really just calmness outside of the business as well. So that's really the tone I'm setting for 2025 and some of those goals which I'm specifically setting for the year as well. So you can see I really like to make the vision board kind of a little bit tangible as well, like not just how I used to do it, as you can see here, not just kind of the vibe and the energy, but actually some tangible goals. So for example, I just photoshopped that 80K picture and just moved those together. So it made that number, but exactly how it would look in that portal as well. I found the 200K picture on Pinterest. So actually some really specific goals in mind, because again, when I hit 100K this year, I've had on my vision board for the last 2 years a picture of a girl with 100K balloons. So that's been on my vision board for a very, very long time, and that was hit this year. So that is super exciting. So yeah, I think it's really helpful to have those specific goals as well as specifically any number goals that you have in your business. So those are the things I'm doing to reflect on 2024 and then plan for 2025. So let me know, I would love to know, what is your biggest goal for 2025, if you want to put that in the comments, or your biggest win for 2024. What are you reflecting on? What are you looking back on you're just super proud of, so we can actually get in the habit of celebrating ourselves, because we need to be doing that more for sure. If you like this video as well, make sure you give this a like. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any other videos, posting every single Monday to help you actually plan to make 2025 truly and actually your best year yet, with really tangible strategies and frameworks, which I'm going to be giving you through these videos. So make sure you subscribe so you do not miss that. And thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas if you are celebrating, and I will see you next Monday.